Here it is in a nutshell. Members of U.S. Congress who vote against mandatory labeling for GMO products receive 3 times as much funding from the food and agriculture lobbies as do their colleagues. That's according to a new report from Open Secrets, which is part of the Center for Responsive Politics. No, really? 3 times as much money, huh? This political watchdog group found that the supporters of the anti-labeling bill, which passed the House last Thursday, that the supporters of that collectively received $30 million from the agribusiness lobby and food and beverage industry during the 2014 election cycle. Now, there were 230 Republicans and 45 Democrats who voted not to let us know whether or not the food we're eating has been genetically altered. Not hybridized, but genetically altered. There's nothing wrong with hybridizing, I don't think, plants, because you're not tampering with the genome. But genetically modified organisms, I don't think you're tampering with the genome, are you, Kathy? Hybridization is just mating for dominant gene material, right? Okay, thank you. Anyway, those 230 Republicans and 45 Democrats who voted to give you the finger where it concerns your food averages out to $108,900 per member. To support, the bill was H.R. 1599, officially titled the Safe and Accurate Food Labeling Act of 2015. The Safe and Accurate Food. God, I hate these people. Don't you? I mean, don't you just absolutely despise them? The Safe and Accurate Food Labeling Act, but it's known by its opponents as the DARK Act, D-A-R-K, Deny Americans Right to Know, DARK. Co-sponsors of this anti-labeling bill received 6-figure dollar amounts from providers of agricultural services and products during just the 2014 election cycle. Among those lawmakers who take money and then jam it to the people who put them in office, Representative Colin Peterson, a Democrat of Minnesota. Shame on you, Representative Peterson, in Minnesota? Oh my God. Frank Lucas, Republican of Oklahoma. Rodney Davis, Republican of Illinois. Mike Conaway, Republican of Texas. Kurt Schrader, Democrat of Oregon. These guys mostly also sit on the House Agriculture Committee. Common Dreams reported last Thursday that this bill, and I think we mentioned it, that this bill was backed by the food industry, including the Grocery Manufacturers Association. You know, manufacture your groceries. Don't grow them or raise them. Manufacture them. You like that? And Monsanto. Both of these organizations have poured money into defeating GMO labeling initiatives. Why, of course. Of course. Representatives Mike Pompeo, Republican of Kansas, and G.K. Butterfield, a Democrat of North Carolina, were 2 original sponsors of this legislation. They were the top 2 current House members receiving the most money from the Grocery Manufacturers Association in 2014. That organization, the Grocery Manufacturers Association, has spent $4 million lobbying on all issues so far this year, almost as much as they spent in all of last year. after the Grocery Manufacturers Association, PepsiCo Inc. spent $2.5 million, Monsanto $2.6 million on just this. The executive director of the Center for Food Safety said last week, quote, passage of this bill is an attempt by Monsanto and its agribusiness cronies to crush the democratic decision-making of tens of millions of Americans. Corporate influence has won, and the voice of the people has been ignored. And the international director of the Organic Consumers Association said, quote, it's time to hold every member of Congress accountable. Either they stand with Monsanto and Big Food in support of the DARK Act, or they stand with the overwhelming majority of their constituents for truthful labeling and consumer choice. I would just say to Ronnie Cummins, who's the international director of the Organic Consumers Association, that he's blowing smoke out of his own body orifices. These members of Congress do not represent their constituents for truthful labeling and consumer choice. They don't represent their constituents for a goddamn thing, nothing. And I just wish these consumer watchdog groups would stop it. Stop acting as though someone is going to listen to you. That some member of Congress is going to say, oh, darn, you know, that consumer organization dude is right. Here I am ignoring my constituents. Well, by golly, I won't do that again. Will you people get over it? Will you consumer organizations, you watchdog groups, stop the crap? Nobody is listening to you in Congress. Nobody. They don't care about you. You're powerless. What you should be working on is the utter and absolute destruction of the capitalist system that brings this about to begin with. What you should be working on, you consumer groups, is getting money out of politics. Stop with these little press releases that say, oh, they should be representing their constituents. Listen to me. They stopped representing their constituents before you were born. So get over your little consumer protection group and do something to make this stop. Sending out these goddamn press releases is not going to do it.